It seems that I'm still not found a good configuration. For some strange reason, I don't know why, but every time that I try to broadcast in English, something happens. It's weird that it just began to fail. I don't know why, but anyway, that's how things do. So, um, again, this broadcasting, it's supposed to be done on Fridays, but since yesterday we have a lot of troubles, we couldn't uh, do it correctly. I'm trying to add some subtitles to the video, so people who commonly sees the talks um, can understand what I'm saying, because all over the week is done in Spanish and not in English. I'm doing this weekly resumes. No, it's not resumes. It's mm, give me a second. Let me ask which word it is. I prefer to, you know, stop a little and find the proper word and say something that I don't want. Summary. Okay, then uh, the Friday's broadcasting is meant to be a summary for what give me a second. Okay, this should be here in the GPU. So and I want to do these summaries because I know that there is a lot of people who doesn't live in Mexico and doesn't speak Spanish, and since English translation to other languages are better than um, doing the translations from Spanish, because I think, or I guess, that the translations are made from the original language to English and then to the target language. So there is two translations, and they kind of, the meaning is lost in those steps. So I guess that I prefer to use limited vocabulary as I have, but be certain of what I'm saying than to use an automatic translation service that will not give a correct impression of what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I guess it's shoot and miss, and then maybe in one moment we can find the proper um, like configuration. It's weird because this machine used to do a lot more heavier things just a few months ago, and it wasn't so problematic. It was easier to do these things, and I don't know. I don't think it's only like the lower in that games with use, like use things works a little slower than newer things. I guess that it maybe has something to think with mm, the system itself, like the operating system, and I don't know if the drivers or something that it's not properly done, or it's done to not properly function, to force us to buy new things when it might be not necessary. I mean, there is a lot of machines that could still be doing a good job, but because just because it has some years since they were sold, then magically they stop working. It has no sense. Okay, this week we was a special week here in Mexico. We had last Sunday um, elections for the Supreme Court of Justice of the nation. It's like the Federal Court of Justice. I guess that in many countries there is similar like entities or something that covers these necessities between the justice system of each country. So it happened a weird thing, you know. People were saying, mostly right-winged people were saying that it was a hit, it was a strike to democracy, to allow people to vote for the people that judge them. It's, I don't know. I think that, I mean, democracy is about to choose. It's about to elect who are doing which function, We choose the people that do the public administration. And one of the arguments that was made is that the people that will be chosen might not be like the better candidates available. But it's funny because we don't in most countries we don't choose people who specially studied like public administration careers or something. We tend to choose, yes, politicians, but uh, those politicians not necessarily are like they haven't studied something to. Give me one more second. It looks very bright to me. Oh, okay. So, even when we do elections, that don't necessarily mean that we are able to put in those places the best people that we could have. Um, there is, uh, we mostly, elections tend to be most like an exercise of popularity than truly thoughtful, selection. Like we don't tend to analyze to give me just a second. As you may or you might don't know, I do these transmissions alive, but I do them while I'm working because I don't have a lot of time available to do it. So you will see me if you keep coming. You will see me talking while I'm working. Um, then we kind of do like we kind to like select the people that seems nearest or seem um, what we would like to be, not people who we are. And then a lot of times the people we choose to, oh fuck, honey, if you are here, I need you to come, please. Give me just a second. I'm going to like mute this. si podría ser también así porque, no sé. Sí, o sea, a ver qué se te ocurre. Mándame. Ahorita la mando. Déjame echar la otra. So, then a lot of times, I guess that most of times, the people that we elect to accomplish these mandates now, to fulfill these functions, uh, not necessarily are the people that are thinking on what we will want or what we will need, but they use like very deceiving campaigns made to make people think that they might be who they need. So it's been like a really heated debate both in USA and in Mexico, and I guess that it might be a worldwide discussion where the new Trump administration have forced all of the world to rethink of what is democracy, how countries should or could relate to each other or give me a second. I'm trying to find the word. The relationships between countries have been changed, and I guess that it is permanent because there's some things that there is no way back, and the things that he have chosen to do, um, about how his government will work with other nations, will work with China, with Mexico, with Canada, which we are like the nearest countries to them in case of Mexico and Canada, but and we are supposed to be like at least partners. I guess that there was never a real like relationship in the same level. It was always like they try to force or they try to push their ways in what is done here in Mexico. And we know a lot about interventions of United States in all over the world. since World War II, World War One, maybe. I mean, it's been a century of how USA have been behaving. And then there is this like change back because the discourse, the propaganda that they were like making is to give me a second. I'm looking for my phone. I'm here. Is that the better thing to do for all the world is to keep um, open commerce, not open borders because they like just certain kind of immigrants. It's sad because they tend to alienate, to extract all the cultural things that people have beneath them or inside them, and they turn them into American people. I guess that it's a good thing that people who live in USA like be like the people in USA, but what I don't like is that they give me another second.
Quedé que iba a venir para checarlo de una impresión, pero no había podido, ahorita apenas pude, no sé si...
Habla la jefa. Lau, cliente, que ya había venido, pero, o sea, bueno, que ya te había hablado, pero que no había venido. Sí, gracias. So, they have all of these like parties and celebration days and parades where they talk about how proud they are of their own roots, but those roots are like in a pot, you know. They are not connected to the ground, to the earth. They are like made in an artificial space where they cannot grow because they are limited. And this limitation is like the American ways to do things. Again, I'm not like fully criticizing the way that American people are because they have their reasons to be like they are, and that's okay. What seems weird to me is to like this double, kind of contradictory way to think and to do things where they act like, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. But
Perdón, tienes fila para cargar un celular.
pila para cargar un celular. Sí, ahí hay una pila.
Le escribí a ella.
Ujú.
¿Quieres que venga otra vez el mismo?
Ok.
Porque esta niña va a querer un pañalero.
Ok, a ver. Give me just a second. Now, I'm going to leave a pretty picture of myself while I'm out because since I am working, I'm not able to be on screen all the time. Let's see if it recognizes my picture. No, it doesn't seem to.
Perdón, hable normal. Sí, esto no sé qué es.
Este es.
Pareció un lightning.
Sí, es Lightning. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué necesitas?
Quiere cargar su celular.
Pues sí,
Se va a
pero ¿qué
esperar
es?
aquí afuera.
O sea, quiero
Es un
saber.
no.
Ah,
Por eso te
ok,
dije,
y
sí.
entonces USB-C.
Nadie me escucha y cuando llego al terapeuta, estamos transmitiendo. Quiero decir algo, cuando llego al terapeuta le digo, doctor,
In English, please.
nadie me hace caso. ¿Por qué sigue?
Like in the.
When I go to the shrink, I say, doctor, please, no one listens to me. Next!
Okay. It's like when you go to English classes where you have, or no, lessons where you have to say everything in English, but sometimes you don't even know the words like I am here, and you have to imagine or use improper words to say things. I guess is a way to like force people to think in the language that they are learning, so that way they could get it. Ah, look. So here's my picture. Then you will see me there. Okay. Then uh, to find that people say some things and then act like in other ways. Mm, mm, it's something that I just can't understand fully. Uh, it's something that I guess it should not be happening, but that's how things are, you know? People tend to be deceiving, but I feel, and that's what I was saying like the day before yesterday. Uh, I feel that most people are not have not like bad intentions when this happens. They try to do their best, but sometimes we have no way to do our best, and we do what we can. But to accept and to learn which are your own limits, and mostly to be sincere with yourself, it's a very hard thing to do because sometimes you have to like give yourself yourself a break, because if you are too hard with yourself, then you are being unfair, because the other will not always will be doing the things like you do. and and it's like playing in an uneven field, you know. Maybe you have a moral higher ground, but it might be uh, like a burden instead of advantage. Sorry, there is people speaking Spanish in the background, and I got distracted. So it's like the chip changed itself, and I begin to think in Spanish, and then the words are like stop it.
Fue la primera vez que
Ay, se me cayó. ¿Es para ahorita?
Sí.
Ujú. Sí, sí, ya sé que aquí está. Ok, ¿ya está?
Ahí la tarjeta.
Vale.
Estoy esperando que me conteste la del dinosaurio, por eso digo, esa hoja vuelve a imprimir y ya si quiere el cambio, pues ya no me lo plancha.
Bueno, más bien imprimo lo que falta, porque hay que imprimir el mom y el dinosaurio, bebé. Entonces en el mom meto lo del pañalero. Va. Mm.
Sí, hacen 23 vamos a tener parte 4, digamos, ¿no?
Me gastaría 4.
Pero es la acompañante.
Así es. Mira. Dale. Dale también agüita, porfa. La puerta, niño. Le digo a David que cierre la puerta. Sorry. Work is work, and we have to do it, because if we don't, then we don't eat, and if we don't eat, we can do these things. I warned you, I might be more distracted than normal, because for some other reason I also can't like speak while I'm designing here in the computer. I don't know. I like the words stop flowing, and I guess my full concentration or my full attention is put in what I'm seeing in the screen, and not what I'm thinking. But if I'm like hand working, it's not so difficult. Mm. Seems that we will be doing 1C for a newborn baby. Well, not A yet not born baby. There is a woman out here asking us to do. Oh. Then there is the elections. So we have like to do a lot of elections and choosings every day of our life. You know, sometimes we choose to go one way or go another, or we choose to don't do anything. And each one of these things uh, have an, an impact in our lives. Sometimes these elections that we did unconsciously have effects that we couldn't even imagine. I was talking like I don't know if it's yesterday or Thursday. Uh, I was preparing some electrical things back there in the. Estoy haciendo estas cosas. No se hace en automático. Oh, no, pues estoy esperando que se abra. No, estoy abriendo. So we were doing like recording about how to put some terminals in electrical cables, and I was talking about how we have not enough like power to process all the things necessary to understand certain phenomena. Um, most of times we are limited to what our bodies can do, and that's not a lot of things. At least, okay, it seems that we are. So give me just 1 second. Se pasmó esto. Voy. Sí, sí, urge. Me urgía desde hace ya un rato. Es lo que estaba diciendo hace rato que, o sea, la máquina funcionaba bien hace unos meses y hacía cosas más pesadas y resulta que ahora haciendo cosas más sencillas se pasma y ya no funciona. ¿Qué pedo? Como si te quisieran obligar a... Sí, voy a dejar pausado esto por lo mientras, porque de todas maneras ni voy a poder mandar ni madres. Sigue abierta la transmisión para que no digas nada.
No digan nada inadecuado.
Okay, it seems that we are back. I don't know what happened, but it like, or is it that it just give up? Well, if you are just listening, there is not so much difference of what anyway will be happening. So, I was saying that we have like a limited quantity to things to process, like biologically in our bodies and also in our machines. Our machines have um, led us to. Ahí estás. Mira.
Nice. What do I have to see?
Lo que saqué, o sea, yo logré
Mm.
extraer el original.
Tengo la plancha.
Entonces, no. Entonces, veamos.
And why did the English spoken if? English spoken day was Friday.
What?
Why is it the English spoken if you said English spoken was Friday?
Ah, because I do like summary on Fridays of what I. Juntos no va.
No puede ver como el de allá.
Vale.
I know what do you do on Fridays, but by Saturday.
Yeah, but yesterday I just couldn't do the.
The summary?
Yeah, it was very. Don't you? Didn't you see the?
Not all of it.
Okay. Well,
I don't have enough time for watching everything.
it might be not even recording what we are saying like right now. You know?
No.
Podrías decirlo en español.
Ah,
Sí, que probablemente ni siquiera está
sí, te
grabando, entonces
entendí.
quién sabe. Bueno,
Pero pues no, bueno, la cosa es que no, pues no me da tiempo de todo. Aparte ya hablo contigo todo el día.
ok. Bueno, en
¿O tú vas a ver todos mis clips cuando yo transmita todo el día en live?
posiblemente, porque yo sí te quiero. No sé si le puedo atinar exactamente a la letra que me puso ella, pero voy a tratar de encontrar lo más parecido.
No teníamos un programa para hacer eso.
Para reconocerlas, pero normalmente esto lo hago en horas en lugar de hacerlo en minutos.
That was my fault. I thought we were already making submissions, so just sit down, please.
Háblame en español, por favor. Ahorita de todas maneras no se está transmitiendo ni madres, creo.
I know that's a problem.
Es que no te estoy entendiendo nada.
Mi culpa.
Ahorita, ¿no?
Sí, como ya me había hecho, yo le había hecho, pues nada más transferirme ya de cuando venga ya está su pañalero. Y me dijo así de, ah, sí, pues, sí, no, eso fue bien interesante. Ahorita, dije, no, pues, ya no me dices,
Sí. A ver, Néstor, yo de aquí. ¿Esta es suficientemente parecida
¿a cuál?
a la de arriba?
Pues déjame más bien mandarle la foto a ella.
Espérame, déjame cambiarle el color a esto. seguirle.
Y esa sí es como Arial, ¿no? Ah, no.
No,
Ah, no, te la pedí igual.
esta
Ajá,
es
no,
como
esta es
esta.
como que la Comic Sans, ¿no? Le pusiste.
Agento Faz, si no me es cómic. Una parecida a esta. No.
Más arriba. Más arriba. Ahí, no, más arriba. Había una, ya se me perdió. A ver, esa.
¿Esta?
Ujú.
No, no, no se parece. Ya lo había pasado. Aquí tengo otra que se parece más. Por eso me la. Mira esta. No. Dame un segundo.
Ay, sin la, que sin la corona. Eso no está tan difícil.
Ahorita la quito. Esta, ¿no?
Sí. A ver.
Tu bebé.
Bebé. Julio.
Así, ¿no?
Aunque dice que la de en unos meses que no se parece a esta. Vamos a ver.
2 meses. A ver. Vamos a entrar todo esto. Te decían que va y va.
Sí, esa ahí.
No te corrijo el otro. Sí, porque el pedo es atinarle a la que es. O sea, parecidas hay 40, 50 antes,
Bueno,
entonces
sí, de hecho sí se encuentran más parecidas. ¿Esa?
no,
No.
las dos son distintas.
O le digo que pase y escoja una.
Como quieras.
La del dinosaurio sí la va a querer así, así ya como está.
Entonces ya están las dos.
Sí.
Ah, que la ching. Ok, entonces aquí no entiendo por qué dice que es excelente la
Aparte ve cómo
emisión.
te quedaste. No, o sea,
No,
se
estoy
quedó en
bla
ese
bla bla
segundo.
bla
Bla,
bla.
bla,
Sí,
bla,
sí,
bla,
sí.
bla, bla.
Es que se pausó aquí el. Es como casi cursiva, pero no es cursiva. Script.
Ajá. Y se ve como, no sé, como desalineadita, ¿no? Como despareja.
Sí. No se llama script. Entonces se llama Hand.
Sí, dice que
Hola.
Hola.
Espérame. Mira.
¿quieres otro banquito?
No, está bien, está bien, está
Más
bien.
tranquilo. Sí, no, porque de
Estoy
construirlo así con
buscando
todas las
algo.
tipografías y eso, aparte de que es muy difícil, o sea, sí se puede y lo hacemos mucho.
Mira que tengo como 500 aquí, pero estoy más bien buscando algo que se parezca. lo suficiente. Mira, estas son parecidas, pero la O es un poquito distinta, ¿ya viste?
Sí.
Ahorita déjame ver si sale algo
La,
más.
a ver esa. Ay, la anterior.
Mm,
No, otra. mm, ah, caray.
estas son las que... Ujú.
¿Será que le queda mejor?
Espérame, todavía tengo unas más acá que todavía no llego.
Ah, sí.
Esta se parece más o menos. No. Mira, voy a tratar de buscarte una parecida, pero si ves algo que te guste, cómo se ve mientras estamos en eso, nos regresamos, aunque no
Ok.
sea la misma.
A ver esa. Pudiera ser
Hay
esa.
flaquita y hay gruesa.
Ajá, tiene que ser gruesa para ser
A
esa.
ver, porque aquí ya teníamos parecida. Esta también. Esta también era parecida.
Eh, esta se ve bien. No, creo que esa me gusta más.
Esta,
Más
¿no?
oscurita. Sí.
Esta creo que se ve mejor y esto lo que podemos hacer es hacerla un poquito más alta, mira.
Ah, sí.
Este es 100, vuelvo así.
Sí.
¿Te gusta así en rojo o quieres que le
No,
cambiemos de color?
no, sí está bien el rojo.
Negro, rojo. Vale. Pues déjame. Es que esto lo saqué de. Este sí es de. Copié la imagen,
Ah, ok, sí, 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 sí.
pero el otro, como lo estamos escribiendo, pues de aquí necesito como ir modificando todas estas partes para corregirlo. Vivo. Ahí está, ¿no?
Sí.
Vale. Entonces queda así.
Este no se puede nada más como separar tantito, o sea, poquitito, ¿no? Un poco. Estoy pegada de la. Ahí, pero.
Más para arriba, más para abajo.
Yo creo que ahí está bien.
Aquí.
Pero un poquito más así. Ahí, ahí, ahí.
¿Ahí sí?
Sí.
Vale. Bien. Inteligente. Este debe de quedar de... No manches. El negro está como muy agresivo. Espérame, le voy a cambiar el negro. Porque ese va a ser como cafezoso.
¿Cuál?
El negro que tiene ahorita puesto. Entonces le voy a poner más bien como este. Como más azuladito. más brillante. No salen muy oscuros. Y es que como hay que cacharle, no se ve exactamente igual a pantalla ya impreso.
Ok.
Entonces, atinarle al color a veces cuesta más trabajo. Aquí se ve aparentemente negro igual, pero ya impreso se ve distinto. 16 por 11. ¿De qué talla es tu pañalero? ¿Va a ser de 4 meses?
No sé, pues es que es
Chiquitito, ¿no?
chiquito, no sé qué
A
tamaño.
ver. Lau, pásame el pañalero que vamos a usar, porfa.
Ah, estuvo a punto de sacarla cuando algo pasó. Creo que me dijiste ven o algo pasó. Me llegó Pedro, no sé, algo.
Debe haber sido Pedro que llegó.
Yo creo que sí, porque me acuerdo que le estaba haciendo así. Y hasta ahorita te iba a decir, ya lo saqué. ¿Ya quedaron ahora sí de acuerdo todos?
Sí.
Es el que vendo para recién nacidos. Porque no es que 6 meses lo ven como viene chiquitita esa marca.
Sí.
No, y aparte crecen, pero
Más
en
un tiempo más se tardaría.
semana ya nada más lo plancho. Deben de ser menos de 15 minutos.
Ok, entonces yo voy a decir
Ahí sí no le
porque mejor lo veo por aquí cerca. Que ya no tarda en salir de la. No, espérate. Son las 4, pensé que iban a ser las 5. No tengo todavía.
llegaste a las 3:30, creo.
Ajá.
Y te
Sí,
dije
a
que
las 5.
Ahí está. Lo voy a hacer grandote porque como de todas maneras ahora sí que nada más para presentar, pues no tenemos.
Ya que lo traen puesto así como la pancita bombada y no se ve igual.
Sí, es que normalmente pues les pones un pantaloncito o algo así, entonces pues hay que como limitarlo
Sí.
a la altura del ombligo.
Probablemente sí se lo pongamos. O sea, se lo queda a mi esposo porque él no tiene el papá.
Ajá.
Pero, a ver, que se entere ya como ya. Ah, ya. Ah, ya sabe.
¿Qué le ibas a decir?
No.
La sorpresa.
Luego me escribe mucho para avisar apenas y luego empezar un
Ahí está.
O sea, imprime mi imagen y luego con el calor de la máquina.
Ujú.
sí,
Ah, ya sé cómo. Sí, sí, sí.
pero por ejemplo, eso solamente tendrían que ser blancas de esta no, yo quiero algodón negro, lo quiero para hoy. Ah, pues ya es otra técnica que es mucho más cara, que requiere puntos de nuevo aquí, entonces ya
Pero
cambia
si la
todo.
manejan ustedes en tela de color.
Sí,
¿Cómo es? ¿Cómo está?
Ah,
haces algodón, pero como puedes ver aquí,
no, sí.
ay, no, de hecho, nos íbamos a poner a ordenar hoy. No sé,
No, y más que el trabajo.
hay urgencia. Yo, por ejemplo, hay una que
¿Cómo?
¿cuánto fue mi amor? ¿Como 24 horas, no? Para la demora. los vidrios dorados.
Ah, no manches.
Como 24 horas
De corte.
de sábado para domingo.
Así, continuo. No, no.
4 días al mes, no el material, porque si no te podía material, todo lo que
Y una playera más sencilla de pues son cosas
como el cine lo querías cambiar, pues sí, eso es muy bueno, porque es como estar ahí. Si son varios, pues ya baja mucho.
Mándame. Ah, pensé que estaban platicando ustedes, No.
el hambre es
Mucha chatarra ahí.
Tu bebé. Va. Es que se calienta un poquito más la plancha.
claro, sí, no.
Son así como muchos pasitos.
Sí.
Entonces de
No,
repente.
lo padre es que tienen, o sea, esos programas de los niños. Yo a veces todo, así diseño cosas, pero me meto a cama y pues más sencillo, ¿no? Pero también a veces que digo, ay, sí, o sea, también puedes hacer varias cositas.
Lloramos mucho con nuestras cosas de cama. Pero si yo te hice el trabajo, no es que así no me lo
No, sí, sí, hay que como guardarlos.
Es como bueno para las ideas o solo visualmente.
Ujú.
No, ese celular, ¿no? Aquí en la galería, abres una imagen, pones una foto y te la deja estar. Entonces, por eso decides subir.
¿En qué? ¿En casa o por celular?
No, el teléfono.
Lo que tú me hiciste estuvo perfecto para entenderlo. Porque en el audio dije,
Sí, a ver, ¿cómo le hago? Ya me puse ahí gritando.
ponerme a capturar, o sea, como que desde descifrar eso luego se complica.
Sí, dije, a ver,
Pero
¿cómo le
no,
pongo más?
estuvo muy bien haciendo la imagen y ya te entendí perfecto.
Sí.
Vamos a hacer también toda la evaluación de un kinder.
Dame un segundo. Si quieres, toma asiento. Falta un poquito de lo que se termina de calentar la plancha.
Sí, aquí no siéntate
Donde puedas.
Sí.
donde impresoras papeles.
Ujú.
Come on. He told you to stop. It's right there.
And what?
So, what just occurred?
He's making me mad.
Did you damage his sign? I have it on video. No, it didn't.
I can see that you guys have it on video.
All right, do you have an ID on you?
Yes.
How you doing? Huh? No problem. Got nothing with you. Just that your witnesses. Violation of student policy.
Oh my god. So what's gonna happen? With all respect.
Hey, check out Sean Porter, Hagerstown, Maryland. So here's the damage. How you doing?
On my way to class.
Is he not hot in that suit? Yes, he is. And he, a public sidewalk on a public street or the court. It will be a court record.
So, are we pressing?
Yes, yes. Destruction of private property. Yep. And the judge will give her community service, and yeah, you'll get community service, and you'll be ordered to pay restitution for the flag. That's all. That's all it'll be. It's a misdemeanor, and it'll be dropped from your record. But it'll be dropped after you do your community service, and you can tell the judge. After good behavior, 6 months in community service, the judge will drop it.
I am a full-time student coming back here in the summertime.
Nope. Next time you'll think not to do it.
But you can't find any like decent art and understanding.
I will tell the judge. Yeah, I will tell the judge, and he'll drop the charges after 6 months, and you do community service.
Corey, you guys were.
This is insane.
No, what was insane is what you did for no reason.
What's insane is that your friend is in a bunny suit here. Outside of the liberal arts school inciting people.
I'm on a public street and a public sidewalk on a public street.
I don't understand this.
Because they had it, the governor was here today to do a ribbon cutting.
Ahí estamos.
This is probably the third or fourth flag that's been damaged. And my experience is the judge will take it, and you'll have to do service. And then if you do not have any more incidents in the next 6 months to 1 year, you'll drop the charges. So don't worry about it. It's not the end of your life. What I want to do. It's a teachable moment. Start a conversation. And not because he's Yeah, because that was the good one.
Ahí está. Está caliente, cuidado.
Estoy presumiendo mi pancita.
Pancito.
It's a classic.
Okay. Seems that we are back. So sorry about that. Um, I think that there might be something interfering with my work, but I'm not sure what thing it is because it's like using all the GPU, and I don't know if it's like the effect that I'm putting on the camera that maybe I will need to shut it down because it's not like helping a lot. Some goodbye and hello. Let me see. We should be able to see each other and not so much. Here we are. So, mm, this don't seems to do anything. Let's see. Let's try another one. Okay, this also doesn't work. Give me just one more second. I mean, if you were here while I'm transmitting, maybe just a minute more will not do a difference. So, no, I feel that it doesn't look so fine. I try to like blur the background because I normally have a lot of disorder here. So it's not a good thing to be showing. And then I'm still trying to keep in order here, but we are working every day and sometimes we are not able to do these things. And for some strange reason, it seems that Adobe things are taking too much of the processing of the machine. I guess that maybe it's not a good idea to have everything open and also to have to design programs open while you're working, but I don't understand how some people are able to like stream doing things in their computers at the same time, and his machines don't get so saturated. It's not like I'm doing anything super special here. I even like limited. Oh, okay, then this is working even when I'm not using it. So that's what's breaking. Okay, then so mm, you can see that I have not still find the proper way to do these things. I'm still using too much of the machine power, but it's not getting like a better transmission. Mhm. Okay, then I guess that week 2 will be another failed experiment because we didn't find the proper way to do it. Well, I think I'll be doing a new recording to not be like worrying about this thing happening, and by doing it no after we edit the video, then there is not so much trouble with all these things that happen in live broadcasting. Um, it seems that it's not listening also. Hasta luego. But I don't know if it's something about the. Okay, I don't know if it's something about the recording of it's something that my machine is telling me here. Well, um, let's do a summary of the summary. So this week we're
To say goodbye on.
okay. Goodbye. Ya, bueno. Apaga la luz, porfa. Okay, then I don't know if I'm doing something wrong and adding to the difficulty to be broadcasting and thinking of what you are trying to say, while it's being done. Also, I don't fully understand um, how the new program works, and I need to think the things in another language, one that is not my mother language, and that I think that maybe it's enough to like communicate with other people, but only like in written way because you have much time than when you are talking. And when you're talking, you also have to be thinking about how you are pronouncing things. I just realized that in these two summaries, I have not talked about pain, which is, I guess, the main subject of this blog, but everything is related. When you have your body demanding attention all of the time, permanently, and give me just a second. So when your body is like demanding all your attention because of the feelings that you are having, then it becomes difficult to do other things without thinking about it. I have, give me just a second. I have a pain scale where I can tell other people how I am feeling. It's something that I downloaded and adapted from internet because it's not necessarily mm, it it don't necessarily will fit what you will need. You know, there is like standardized scales, but it might not be the most suitable for you. Sometimes you have to adapt to what it's done, because in order to publish each one of these scales, scientists or people that do research need to have them like, I don't know if it's correct to say proven, because there is nothing totally proved in science, but at least they have to be revised by other people, and a lot of times you need to cite where you are getting your information from. And sometimes, since people is not very like a very trustable font of information, then they tend to use what other people, what other scientists have done, because they have like this approval. But we are talking about two different levels, or two different mm, like parts of the same thing, because your mm, health professional, the one that is working with you, need to work with these standards just to be out of trouble, and they are like limited. They cannot do whatever they would like, not even whatever they would like, would want. um, so even when they knew that it's not enough what they are doing, they need to be like careful with what they do, because if they don't, then it could cause problems. But these problems are not only with your case in specific. If they stop working, then they will not attend a lot of people. It's not like they just work for you, or maybe yes, but most times it's not. So I guess that is our own responsibility as chronic pain patients to be proactive in what in how we relate to our health professionals, and in what we do about what we are living, because we are the ones that are feeling it like 100% of the time. Other people maybe can imagine, maybe can relate of what you are saying, but um, they cannot feel what you're feeling. So by talking about everything that you do in your life, and that's what I'm trying to do here, by letting out the things that I'm thinking, by like talking with myself, but from outside, it's not like the inner talk that you always have. It's like if I was talking with someone in the screen, not in the mirror, because it's not the same people, not the same person. And it also let me like get out of the feelings that overwhelms, you know your brain or your nerves are sending this stimuli all the time. They are constant. So then there is one time where you cannot think about another thing. You just think about it. You just try to find a way to not be swallowed, eaten by this feeling. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I am a social psychologist, and I also have like academic studies about psychotherapy, um, and it might be a helpful thing, but it also brings difficulties with it because I know there is tools to cope with these things, but sometimes those tools are not enough. Sometimes it's like we have, or I had a higher standard to how to behave and how to feel the things that happen. And it makes harder to deal with these things, but because people are constantly remind you about what you studied, about what you have done now. And it's like, I don't know, it's like how is called the guys that study the weather? Meteorologist? It's like asking a meteorologist to be able to stop a storm, or to be able to prevent a hurricane or something, not because you studied and you kind of know and kind of understand how it's working. It means that you are able to, or you have enough power or enough tools to stop things from happening. And I guess this is the point where I am, and I haven't talked about it before. And maybe I guess that there is something that needs to be done and needs to be said, because we people who are dealing with pain, and I'm not talking only about physical pain, that like in chronic pain syndrome or fibromyalgia or all of these diseases that cause constant pain, because the pain is not only a physical experience, it's also an emotional and a spiritual experience. Sometimes you have to deal with emptiness and with lack of sense, lack of meaning, and it's not about emotions and it's not about physical feelings, like nerve and body things. It's something beyond, but at the same time it's something that you are living. And I guess that you call it um, um, an spiritual necessity is maybe how it's better described. And there is a lot of people out there that are dealing with these things. We tend to forget that every people has to deal with themselves, with their own lives every day of their lives, and not always we have enough tools to deal with those things, or enough resources, emotional, physical, economical resources. Other of my motivations to be doing this blog is to be able to spread the word about what I'm dealing right now, because as I said, I don't have enough resources to treat myself, to get proper treatment. Um, my doctors have been doing a great. I don't have the correct word in English to describe what they have been doing. They are getting themselves as much as they can, and with limited resources that public health system gives you, to bring me the best tools that we have to deal with these things, no? And I know that it's not fully their responsibility, nor it's in their hands to be able to do those things. I had to wait for like plus a year, um, to get surgery. I got back surgery to try to fix this, but it don't fully work. It worked in a way because yes, it took away some part of the pain, but I guess that maybe the damage done was already too big for my body to heal himself or itself. Also, I know that you have to be very patient with this kind of lesions because nerves took a lot a lot of time to be healed. Um, so it's not like the next day or the moment that you are out of surgery room you will be fixed, because it will take some time to for the body to rebuild itself. But it's been more than a year already, and what I'm feeling is that it's getting worse and not getting better, and that's not how it was supposed to be happening. So I'm looking for other alternatives. And the problem that I have is that I have no money, I have no resources to be able to pay for these alternatives. I've been talking with some private, private, mm, well, some doctors that don't work in public health, and they present a lot of possible ways to be doing things, but I don't feel very comfortable with them because first thing, or as I felt it, is that they they were thinking first in how much they will get from doing these interventions. And I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing, because it's your work and your work have to be paid. That's what you that's why you studied for. What you studied for. That's why you have been investing all the time and all the effort in better yourself and learn new techniques and buy tools to be able to perform these interventions, but I felt like they didn't listen, they didn't talk with me like a person, they talk with me like a potential client, a potential source of income, because consultations are not cheap, at least for what I can pay. And my wife and I are doing the effort to pay for these consultations, to get better understanding of what's happening and what are the alternatives that we have. But I feel disappointed because I don't, at least with one of the doctors that we talk, I didn't feel that they didn't think about not recommending unnecessary what's the word, unnecessary treatments. In this case, not even treatments, because what they were proposing is that we had to do all these interventions just to know maybe what is happening. So I'm dealing with these two things. I don't know what's happening. I suspect, me and my doctors suspect and imagine what could be happening, but we don't have any certainty. And also, I don't have a proper like diagnostic, so I don't have access to possible benefits that society might give to me. It's not like I would change those like privileges or benefits for not feeling what I feel. They doesn't worth it. So what I think is, if I will have to be dealing with this, be feeling this, then why I cannot get what we as society decided that people in these issues should get. And I don't have the paper that you know allows, no, it's not allow, that confirm that prove that I have something, and they cannot do this paper because they don't have enough evidence to do a proper diagnostic. So I have to deal with both things, you know. Um, on one side, I have to deal with lack of empathy from people because you see me here in screen, you know, you can see that I'm here moving and I'm working and going there and back and up and down, but it doesn't, what you see in the screen doesn't reflect what I'm feeling. You see a middle-aged man that seems still in good shape, that seems still young enough to be capable to do things for himself, but it's not like that. And I have no other way to tell people what I'm feeling. I had to put like disabled patches all over the truck, well, the van that we have, so people don't like get over me when I park in disabled spots, even when I have like the accreditation to do that. But this a very limited accreditation because it's given by the municipality and it's only like valid between among the city. So if I go to another city, even if we are here in the same state, like in Querétaro, it probably, well, it might be taken in account, but they don't have to. And if I go like León, Puebla, Mexico City, then they will not take in account because they don't have any obligation to do it because it's not like a proper like official um, signage, not like an official badge or a valid badge in other states. And I can go to the local vehicular or transit authority to ask for disabled. Um, how is this called? The things with the numbers that cars have. Give me 1 second. It's called license plate. Okay, I don't have like the disabled license plate, and then I have to um, I'm subject to all the restrictions um, that people who doesn't have these disabilities have, or I don't have access to those privileges that people with disabilities have. And what I'm trying to do is at first try to get a proper, like diagnostic. But I guess that it might be the case that my disease is not disease, my illness, it's not so common, so it could not fit to what the law says that it's a disabling um, illness. And also I'm looking for treatment for relief from these these feelings. But to be able to start getting it, I need to ask for help to the general public, to all the people, because there is no way that I could get the the needed resources just to do this little thing, just to get an answer, not even to heal the pain, just to know what's happening. And then if we want or we try to heal it, then there is a bigger series of treatments that will need to be done to maybe uh, lower or to kind of patch what's happening. And that's literally millions of pesos, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I think that no one should be denied the opportunity to stop the pain, because what I felt is that if you say that I have an illness and you know a deadly disease and I have some time, then I could deal with it because I know it's temporary. It might be some months or some years or whatever, but it's not like that. It's like permanent, you know. So if I live like 10, 20, 40 years, then I will be feeling pain for all these years. It's like a torture sentence. And on top of that, I don't even have like the consolation of know what's happening, or to the consolation to be able to name what is happening. It's something invisible, something unnameable that is surrounding me. Is there, and I feel it, and I know, I can sense it, but I can't name it. So it's it's like having a devil, a devil, or a bad spirit, like taking control of all the things around you and just mocking you because you can see it. And I guess that's the difference between me and other people that have nervous disease, or other kind of chronic pain, um, illnesses. I guess that I feel that I don't even have that relief, that consolation, that maybe if I was able to name it, to say to the people, I have this thing, this is what I'm suffering, this is the disease that I have, then maybe it will be easier for them to understand what's happening, because it's like I don't have to be giving all these explanations for all the people that can see what's happening. And nobody can see what's happening because it's not like on my face or on my skin, except but maybe the times that I'm having a crisis. Then the rest of the time it's invisible. So I'm doing this in English, uh, not just to, well, there is a lot of motivations to be doing this, But I guess that if we just limit the why I'm talking in English right now, it's because I know that it will allow me to talk to people outside my country. That English is a tool that let me reach people in other parts of the world that may have a better economic circumstance, and that they will be maybe someone who is willing to help me. And it's not easier, it's not so hard for them to share like a little piece of what they have. But at the same time is something that makes me feel like guilt, you know. A lot of times I think if I deserve it, if somehow maybe another will be needing it more than me, and why anyone should be doing this for me, you know. It's much easier for me to give than to receive, because I'm in full control of the things that I gave. No matter if it's my work or it's a coin or a bill that I give to someone, or maybe some clothes or whatever, you know. So it's very difficult for me to be publicly talking about this, to be publicly asking, to be saying this out loud, because I don't know if I if people would think that I deserve it. And that's why I haven't started the campaign already, you know. I have like limited time to be able to access to possible like treatment that might also explain what's happening with me. You know, it will give me like it will help with my pain, and also it will help um, with knowing what's happening there. But these doubts is what makes it difficult. I don't know how to say it. I don't know if anyone will listen, and I think that to deal with nobody listening will be worse than not asking for help. I guess that's why it's so difficult to me to do this, you know. But I have no other chance. I have no, or as far as I know, I have no other alternative, and I cannot give myself for defeated, but because as I'm alive, as long as I live, I will be dealing with this. I will be feeling this. So there is, I guess, no option than to find a way to at least trying to lessen the pain that I'm feeling. I don't even know if it's recording or if it's like broadcasting, but I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it's, as I was saying, part of what I have to think and what I have to talk with myself to be able to do things. Because if I stand still, then it will be no more a probability or a possibility. It will become a reality that this feeling will end like swallowing me. And somehow it makes sense what the title that I gave to the talk today, because it's our choose, our elections, what gives you in or out of certain situations. And maybe we don't know to what extent it will affect, what we choose. So I guess that it's better to act with limited amount of information than to be static and then unequivocally, you know, to provoke that what we are fearing happens. Then it will be a certainty if we don't do something. And I guess that is something that we all share. I hope next week I get better like configuration of this thing. And maybe next week I can talk better to you. But for now, it is what it is, and this is what I have. So, see you.